Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Welcome back to iSelf Academy YouTube channel. Recently added as an iSelf Academy snippet channel right now. And then today we're going to see the ETL video number 3. Again, I would like to put them on 3 different videos, but these topics are simple topics. So these are the very basic logic that we need to learn when we are using Excel. So I'll put them all in one video. I'm planning to put 3 formulas today, or 3 different topics today, like how to label a data set by using a proper upper lower formula in a text functionality, and then how to split the data using text to column, and as well as we can use Office 365 logic called text split, and we can use transpose. Again, transpose is a formula which is there available for a longer time, and if you want to use transpose using a paste special option, how we can do that, I'll show you all the 3 of them in this particular video. And without further ado, let's jump into the video part. Again, I have a data set here. I already have a data set. This is already in a proper dimension that we have here. We can convert them all in this list. And again, I'm going to use 2 different methods right now. So let me see what is the data size that I have. I have around 24 line items of data set here. You can use them all in a single shot if you're using Office 365. If you're using the older version, then you will use maybe an autofill option to work around with the data set. So first and foremost, let me add one line above here, and then I'm going to call this as proper upper and lower. Already my result in a proper data set, so I won't see a big differences when I use a proper functionality here. So I'm going to just say equals proper, and then select this and give an enter, and then when I double click and set it down, so it should work if it is a continuous data set. If not, I'm going to just drag and drop it. This is one way that I can use it in the old school methodology. If I wanted to use the same logic in the new school method, this is going to auto populate my data set better, but the choice of selecting the data set will be a different here. So I'm going to just say equals proper here, and I'm going to select the whole data set from top to bottom. When I give an enter, that's going to populate all my answer on the right hand side. If you're using Office 365, then the auto population or spill effect kind of a structure will come automatically for you. The same logic happens for the upper and lower, and then when I go for upper functionality, then all my data set will be upper in case. Now the double click and send it down, or the autofill option will work beautifully because I have a data set prior to my data set, so it allows me to do that. The same function works for me in the lower dimension also. When I select this and give an enter, then I double click and send it down, then automatically the answer will populate for me until the last line here. This I don't want to work in our spill effect here. So when I give an auto functionality and then choose the whole data set and give an enter, that's going to populate all the data list. The same way I'm going to give lower and then select the whole data set from top to bottom, then that's going to populate our list. Again, I should have done small coding behind the scene which allowed me to automatically expand our data set. I didn't do that, so I'm going just using the normal Alt OCA, the old school keyboard shortcut. If you're using Office 365 or anything above Office 2007 version, you can use Alt HOI, which will be a keyboard shortcut to column auto fit your data set. So this is how we can do the labeling formula. You can extract the data set either by the first letter capital for all our data sets, or you can make all capital or all small in either one method or both the methods here. This is the first set of formulas which is on the labeling front. The second part that I'm trying to do right now is text split here. Again, this is, I even made a video on it recently. And again, I literally made the same video, I think. So the same content, I took it here. So the video showed me that I have used this probably way long ago, probably 10-15 years back, when I started my career rather, I think so, as a trainer in 2002 or 3. At that time when I learned it, I started using the text to column, and then I've used it almost in 20 plus years. I've used it. So let's see how I'm going to use it. I'm going to copy the whole data set, then I'm going to paste it here. I want to extract this into 3 different columns, or how many ever of columns, how many ever the name of the person comes into play. If it's a 3 name in 3 columns, if there's 2 name, 2 columns, 4 name, 4 columns, and so on and so forth. So let's come back to our data tab and then click text to column. And then it'll ask you a question. So do you have a delimiter? Yes, I have a delimiter here, but I have multiple delimiters here. This can be done with the ease when we are working on a text split functionality. So I'm going to just give a next here. Then automatically all the delimitation generally we use will come into play, like tab, semicolon, comma, and space here. I do have one more additional dimension here called a dot. So I want to even split that in that way. When I give a next and then when I finish it, it's going to automatically split the data set here. Again, if you see, I've made a small mistake here. That is, I didn't break the data set by using the old school methodology. So let me just redo this process again. So let me go back to my text to column. I just did only one check here. I didn't check the spaces here. So that didn't break the data set. In the earlier, if you go back and see the video on the initial frame, that I would have done a mistake here. And I can just say finish here. That's going to break the data set into 4 different columns here. Again, I can adjust this using the new school method. This is the text to column, old school way of working with the data set to split the data set here. And I can use the new data set called text split here. Again, when you use a text split, again, this is not going to be an auto fill option here. So I'll be using double click and send it down in the old school autofill style here, not the new school spill effects will come into play. So I'm going to just say equals. I say text split here. And then I'm going to choose the data set that I want. This is a text that I'm going to break, and then I'm going to give a comma. Then it's going to break the data either in a column or a row. I'm interested to break them in multiple columns, not in rows here. So I'm going to just say that column delimiter is going to be a space here. And that's going to break the data set in the space. If you are having multiple data set, then see to that you are doing it, or you are adding all of them in a curly bracket so that you can use the space. And I do have a dot here, so I'm going to just use the dot also here. Close the curly brackets here, and then nothing is there other than that in this list. So I'm going to just close the bracket. I'm going to ignore all the other dimension like a row delimiter, ignore space, match mode, or pad with everything. I'm going to just leave it as it is. I'm going to just close the bracket and give an enter. It's going to break my data set, and I'm going to go double click and set it down. It's not going to work for me because I have a break in between. So I'm going to just drag and drop it until the last thing. So now you can see automatically the data breaks into multiple point with multiple dimensions of data set that I have in this list. So this is how our text split works for us. In our text to column and text split, you can use any one of them. The next part that I'm going to do is a transpose. I'm going to convert this data set that is available in one column into multiple rows here. I'm going to just say equal transpose, a formula, and then select the whole data list and then give an enter. As it is an Office 365 functionality, it breaks into multiple points. Sometimes it doesn't do that. If I want the same thing using a ribbon function, I'm going to say copy that and then use a paste special option, Alt ESV, or instead of that Alt ESE, I'm going to give here. And I give an enter, that's going to transpose the data in that way. This is how we can split the data into multiple points. I used a simple proper upper lower and a straightforward normal autofill method and plus spill methods here. And text to column using text splits and text to column. Then I use a transpose and paste special option of transposing in this list. Hope you guys learned this complete dimension. So now we have added almost 5 of the formula. We have 4 more to go. In our next video, if it is a very simple logic, then I can put them all in one simple video, which makes our video a little longer, but you can learn all of them in a multiple, not in a multiple video, but in a single video. This is Vinod signing off from iSelf Academy Snippet, a YouTube channel for Excel, Power BI, Word, PowerPoint, Tally, QuickBooks, Xero, and many more accounting softwares and many more new additions of topics are going to come into play. Enjoy learning and happy updating. Thank you so much.